Welcome to the November 2024 Power Platform Community Call. It is November 20th. Fall is falling, everybody. The temperatures are dropping, but the Power Platform community, that's right, fireballs. It's red hot. We're halfway through November and things are heating up. So let's dive into what we're going to talk about today. The agenda, community resources, community samples, Power Platform news and events. We're going to have a group picture time and together mode, everybody's favorite time. So get those fantastic faces ready of yours. And then our three amazing all-star presenters of the day. Jean-Paul is going to talk about building and naming refactoring tool for Power Apps. Shiv is going to cover how to create and download PDFs directly from Power Apps. And then you guessed it, Nathalie is here to talk about how to call a Power Automate flow from a Dataverse form. So exciting, wide, broad spectrum of topics for us to take advantage of and learn from today. But first, is there anything else in the community that's available to each and every one of you for free? Yes, there is. We've got community learning videos. That is in our Microsoft Community Learning YouTube video channel. So go subscribe, smash that subscribe button. Is that what they say these days? Smash that subscribe button so you can be alerted as soon as the new videos are dropped. We have on average new videos coming out almost daily. So things like the demos from this call and others from Microsoft and the community are there for all us to benefit from. We've got our LinkedIn group for discussion so you can be a part of that camaraderie and community. We've got our open source tooling. We've got plenty of sample galleries and we've got some new badges to look at actually. And of course, we've got one URL that you need to remember, just one, ak.ms/community/home. That will give you access to each and every one of these awesome resources that I mentioned, absolutely free. So please take advantage of them. Now, if you're watching the video today and you're like, hey, you know what? I think I've got something cool to show off, just like our awesome presenters are today. Well, we welcome you. This is not an exclusive club. Everyone is welcome to present a demo on the Power Platform Community Call. Just need you to fill out a form, ak.ms/community/request/demo. I know it rolls right off the tongue, but in case it doesn't, we've got the link in the chat, and you can take advantage. So don't overthink it. Level 100 things are absolutely welcome. If you just learned how to take advantage of a new or even old feature and you thought it was cool, I promise you, there are new people in the community every single day. They will also benefit by it. Shane, I think, help me out here, right? We're not looking for perfection.
If people want perfection, then I would have about 0 views, right? Like,
yeah, right.
This is always one of those challenges that we all suffer from what's called the curse of knowledge, right? Like we think once I know something, the whole world must know it. And it's not true. You know, you've got to get out there and share whatever you've learned. And even if you're saying something that someone else has said before, because you say it from a different angle, a different approach, with a different accent, with a different whatever, like that might be the way that it lands better for someone else. So please, please, please join us and present.
Absolutely. You could be the power up to someone else's day. See what I did there? Shane hates it when I say that, but I still am going to say it. So let's move on, everybody. Let's talk about some Power Platform samples and badges. Kate's here to tell us about the newest samples.
Yes. Thank you very much, David. And let's start with the amazing news. We hit an incredible milestone, 50 samples now live in the Power Platform Sample Solution Gallery. Yeah, this achievement wouldn't have been possible without your hard work, support, and contributions. So that's why a huge thank you to all of you for this success. This is your success. And today I'm very happy to highlight 2 fantastic new samples that we have now. First, we have James Color Picker application. This is a very cool tool that allows you to work effectively with hex colors and their parameters. It's designed as a reusable component, so it makes it very easy to integrate in your own projects. Thank you very much, James, for this brilliant sample. And next one is from Marvelous Omotoso. He brings us a gym management application. This is a solution simplifies member registration, subscription tracking, and communications with the automated workflows. So it's a powerful tool for streamlining operations. Very great sample, Marvelous. Thank you very much. And thank you both for sharing these incredible samples with us. Your contributions are truly appreciated. And As always, I would like to highlight that all samples in our sample solution gallery are completely free and unmanaged. So you can download, explore, and use them completely free. And moreover, you can become a contributor too. It is very, very simple. You can just follow the link that you can see on the slide, review our contribution guidelines, and submit your pull request. And moreover, if you would like, you can join our sharing is caring sessions, or even reach out to me directly in LinkedIn or Blue Sky, and I will be more than happy to support you. Yes, that's all for today. Congratulations again to everyone, and thank you for being a part of this amazing journey. And let's aim to our next big milestone, 100 samples in our gallery. Yes, back to you, David.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for doing such a great job maintaining that. And again, thank you, James and Marvelous. Great job, everybody. And Kate had mentioned contribute, and she mentioned sharing is caring. So if you're unfamiliar with what that is, I'm going to tell you. It is live and hands-on sessions. One is next Monday. It is there for you to join in with the rest of the community. It is not recorded. It is a safe space. It is absolutely free again. And we will walk you through how to use the sample gallery as well as how to contribute to it via GitHub. And you may be thinking, man, that GitHub place is ugly. And you're right. It can be hard to navigate, but we're going to walk you through it. And by the end, you'll have made an official contribution and you'll be recognized for it. So it's absolutely free. It's a good opportunity. We don't record them, so you're safe to ask any and all questions without thinking, should I already know the answer to this? No one else asked it, so maybe I should. Nope. We're all learning together, so every question is welcome. So go sign up, ak.ms/sharingiscaring. And I mentioned that you will get recognized for it, right? That's because we have a recognition program. So this is another free program where we cover the cost. It is powered by Credly, and we've got amazing badges for you. So we've got our Prompt Pro, we've got our other community badges like the Refresh Rangers and SPFX Toolkit. New for the season, back is Slice of Samples, Season of Getting. And just worked with April Dunham to create the Snippet Sorcerer. So those Power Platform snippets in that repo, you can get those from contributing to that repo as well as the script samples. So take advantage of it. These are fun, but they are real accredited badges that show that you're making a difference in the community. So you absolutely want to show your managers and show your clients that you're getting involved and you've got the edge. So we welcome and appreciate all the contributions you're making. And this is one of the ways that we are giving back. Just need you to opt in, ak.ms/community/recognition, and the link is in the chat. Now, let's move on to some news and shows and events. We've got our ESPC coming up in just a couple of weeks over there. So there is a discount code for the Microsoft 365 call you can take advantage of if you would like. We've also got the or European Collaboration Summit coming up with the AI and Cloud Summit and BizApp Summit. That is a hat trick, by the way, because there are 3 events going on at one time. Ooh, mind blown, right? We can take advantage. And Vesa will be there. I'll be there. Hugo Bernier will be there. And a number of amazing other people in the community will be there. So take advantage of it. We'd love to see you there. Of course, we've got tons of other events going on in the world that are a lot of hard work to put on. So support them. Some are in person, some are hybrid, some are cloud only, and you can take advantage of supporting them if they're in your locale, you want to go visit. You can get access to these at ak.ms/community days. Here is a sample of some of those coming up over the next few months. So please show your support. There's a lot of hard work by the community that goes into those. And yeah, Ryan has brought out in the chat, Microsoft Ignite, who could forget that, is going on right now. Okay, the news desk, right? We got the news, the more you know. We're going to start out with notes from the field from our lovely and one and only Shane Young.
Yay! Oh, wait, no, sorry. Yeah, so just wanted to get on my usual reminders here. Right, but probably the biggest one is Microsoft. They announced Plan Designer back at the Power Platform Conference back in September. But then yesterday at Ignite, they said, hey, in the next couple of weeks, basically, most of you will be able to get your hands on it. And so when you look at new tools like Plan Designer, right, and if you haven't seen it before, basically the idea is you go in, you put your business use case scenario, and then it uses a large language model to determine the user roles that go in there. You have a chance to interact, refine that. And then once you lock in the roles, then it generates the tables. Then you can refine those. Once it locks those in, then it ultimately says, here are the model-driven apps, the Canvas apps, or the Power Automate flows that you need. And then it helps you get those going as well, right? It's really, really interesting. And the reason I point this thing out is, it's easy to look at it and go, well, it makes bad apps, or not bad, but it makes boring apps, or, its structure's pretty simple today, which is not really true. But, there's a lot of places that you can poke holes in a tool like the Plan Designer today. But you think about, like, nothing about that existed like a year ago. And all of a sudden now, they've got this first wave of a Plan Designer that's good enough to put in our hands. Imagine what it's going to do in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now. And so when you see AI tools like this, even though you say, well, I can't use it for my work today, you should still be playing with these tools and learning about these tools and interacting with these tools, because they are going to evolve and evolve very quickly. And you are going to be much better at using them and understanding how they work if you go on this journey with them, right? If you understand what it used to do versus what it does now, then you're going to be better at prompting it and getting it to the place that you want. So I can't stress it enough when it comes to this AI stuff. If you can't use it today, if you're like, hey, that's so rudimentary, I would never want to use it, you're missing the point. The point is going on the journey. So that's my advice to all of you when it comes to all things AI. But I thought the Plan Designer announcement was just a great excuse to remind you guys once again how important it is to understand and go meet these products where they are, so you can go on the journey with them. There you go. That's my 2 cents for the day.
Awesome. Yeah, you can even use the GIF from Lord of the Rings. We're going to go on an adventure, right? Make it more exciting. So
I don't have sound effects. I don't know. I'm not allowed to do that. Apparently you don't get the license for that.
No. We can show. We'll figure it out next time. All right. Now, April Dunham is usually here to cover the news, but she is at Ignite, and she will actually be back next month with lots of great information. This is what she has provided for us now, though. Again, aligned with what Shane had said, Plan Designer is now in preview. We've got autonomous agents now in preview. Agent Builder from Power Apps in preview. Did I mention things are in preview? The Power Apps Pulse, and then Git integration and Power Platform. You guessed it. I know. Now in preview. So you don't see the links on the screen, but they are in the chat, and they will be in the show notes for those that are watching on demand. So if you'd like to take advantage of learning all about those, lots of exciting stuff coming up. All right, well, what time is it? It is picture time. So let's turn those cameras on and get those fantastic faces going. I'll turn it over to together mode here. We'll set a stage for as many as we can fit. And I will move that over here. There we go. All right, see some cameras turning on. Getting Camtasia ready. There we go. Yep. Move that over there. All right, we got a couple of seconds. We're doing good on time. So if you want to get your camera turned on, someone's being interrogated, it looks like. All right, there's still some more seats, everybody. We'll give you another second or two. Shane's doing his hair. I did mine 7 years ago, and it hasn't changed.
Yeah, my hair looks pretty nice today, so I'm just gonna rock with it.
It does. I see Vesta back there. All right, let's give this just another second. All right, turn those cameras on if you want. All right. Oh, and everything just cleared up nicely. So, all right, the interwebs are working. All right, let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. Wave to the community, everybody. Woo! Great to see you. Love the smiling faces, all the support. Thank you for all joining today. Kate looks great. Natalie, love y'all. Shane, great smile. Awesome. All right. Thank you all for being and doing all you do in the community. All right, so let's get back to our regularly scheduled program, and we are going to kick it off with our 3 amazing presenters. Jean-Paul is going to start off for us on building a naming refactoring tool for Power Apps. So Jean-Paul, if you would like to take on over the screen share, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Let me share my screen. Can you see it?
It is loading, and yes.
Right. So thank you all for joining. Welcome to building naming refactoring tool for Power Apps with YAML, VS Code, and Python script. This is our agenda for today. We'll expose our case, a bit about naming convention, tooling, the demo itself, and another uses for the refactoring. So before we start, who am I? I'm Jean-Paul Dosher. I work at Nexter, EA Brazil. I'm a former electrical engineer, also on that of teenager and 10 cats. Some case 9 cats, but that doesn't count. So let's dive in. So this is our case. So we got into a legacy Power App system with low level of development maturity, and where the last developer reply control their like there was no tomorrow, like that one here. We got a control replicated almost 100 times. So we definitely wanted to rebuild the app from the scratch, but that was not possible due to time consumption and some project aspects. So, but how can we achieve that? How can we discover the app? So this is where YAML and Power Apps tooling comes to save. But before talking about the tooling itself, let's talk a bit about the naming convention. This is the naming convention based in Matthew Devaney's naming convention with the addition of this container. You guys have played a lot with code view preview, of course, in Power App Studio, right? So actually, the code structure that we use for the refactoring is the unpacked MS app, is that one here. It's a bit different from the code preview, but long story short, we have three different schemas, YAML schemas, right? So YAML has this great structure that allows us to context things like the control type in here, the indentation itself, and the properties inside the control. All these are gonna form this refactored name that is our objective, right? So for the tooling, essentially, we use the pack and pack commands in the VS Code extension, Power Platform extension. The Power Apps tooling actually is inside the tooling, the extension. Sorry, you can use it in the terminal. Of course, VS Code and Python scripting. For the Python scripting, I'm gonna show you actually an example of this is the home screen for MS app, unpacked MS app. So we have the screen name at the top of the file, so it's a context. So we get the screen type, the control type, and some context inside of it, like that one. That one is a duplicated one. So and of course we extract those contexts and see if it's a duplicated control, and we perform this refactoring if it's necessary. And of course, that same control perhaps is reversed into another controls, and we need to change it into the reference control, right? So basically, this is the scripting, the algorithm scripting, but we're gonna see a bit more in the presentation itself, right? Let me back to my slide here, and for the demo, I got this simple app here where we've got those containers and those two replicated controls with you can see the underline two here is of course a duplicated control. I'm gonna download this into my folder. I'm gonna open here and take that file to my working folder, sorry. And what I'm gonna do, open up the VS Code. The file is right here, the MS app is right here. I'm gonna just copy the name to perform the unpacking, right? So pack canvas unpack / MS, app, the file name, and the Destiny folder sources, so my bad. And I'm gonna give a Destiny folder. I'm gonna hit enter. Now it's unpacking, right? It's unpacked right here. I'm not gonna enter too much deeply into those file structure, but essentially we wanna the home screen YAML file, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna now take this file. I'm gonna use the Windows files. It's easier. I'm gonna take this account home file and paste it into the Python zip file. So let me just take again the name, open the refactoring tool. That's quite simple, straightforward. Gonna hit the extension for it. That's okay. He just found the name and performed the refactoring. So let us check if everything is fine here. So I'm gonna open those two files side by side and compare those two. Compare with home. Right. So those tools are the control that I showed before. We've got a rectangle tree on the line 2 now. He's renamed as rec unknown accounts header accounts home. Here we got this unknown because we don't have any context in here, but it's just fine for me. And this one works perfectly. He got that context accounts and he put it into here, the context and the container that this guy's in and the screen name. Well, that's quite straightforward. That it's perfectly fine. What we're gonna do now, it's a bit manual step, but I'm gonna paste it into the folder, source folder, and delete the original file and rename that guy. And packet this file again. I'm gonna use a shortcut here to pack the file, and I'm gonna rename it to v1. And the sources of fine. I'm gonna hit enter. If it's all okay. Well, there's a warning that sources have been edited, but as for this is okay, it's fine. So what we're gonna do, just to double check, we're gonna import this now. The import is in here, not in the app anymore. Let's import this v1. Just a bit of context about the Python scripting here. I told a bit about the YAML treat as a string because some Python YAML libraries and LLMs really doesn't perform well to this. But actually I will get this a bit later. But here's the guy. We have the count, and here we got those two refactored control names and don't have any formulas. Eventually something breaks, but it's perfectly fine for this use case, right? So the demo is about that. Talking just a bit about this was a simple application, of course, for a specific problem that I had, but it can evolve as much as your imaginations allow, of course. Maybe you can embed this into a C# app or add it to your DevOps procedure, or perhaps using LLMs, as I said, and made a deepest refactoring. I don't know. Actually, last week with the Git integration, performed this, but that will be to another call, right? Guys, that was the demo. Please keep in touch. Those are my contacts, and feel free to contact me.
Awesome, Jean-Paul. Thank you so much for no problem. Thank you so much for sharing with the community. That's excellent. Put the link in the chat. We'll be in the show note on a blog post that Jean-Paul wrote about it as well. So take a look at that. Thank you again. All right, Shiv, you are up, my friend. So Shiv is going to talk about how to create and download PDFs directly from Power Apps. Looks like you're loading your screen. Yep, just throw that into presentation mode and you are on your way. Perfect.
Good morning and good evening, everyone. Today we will explore how can we generate PDF directly in Power Apps. But before to deep dive into that, let me introduce myself. Myself, Shiv. I am I'm a microservice specialist. Majorly worked in Power Automate, Power Apps, Power Platform, Power BI, SPFX, Azure. That's all. And let me quickly give overview of this app. So basically, in this uh, case, we will first of all we will go through the introduction, and then we will explore the features, and then we will go to the speaker page, and then we will lastly will explore about PDF generation and export and mail. So let me quickly tell you the about this particular use case. So here we are generating and exporting the PDF in Power Apps, where we are sending the email to the user with as attachment of that same PDF content, and that PDF is fully responsive and dynamic, and also contains custom styling on the PDF as well as the mail body. And usually it's like also contains the feature like loader and all, and we are all it's already unnecessary like buttons and all that also has been maintained in this particular scenario. So this is the page which I will show you in the live demo after this, where we have all the information of all the speakers, speakers name, their description, number of speaking event they have did till now, their type, like they are a key speaker, they are a keynote speaker, etc. And then we have a status like that particular speaker is approved or that's under process, under reviewed, and then is he like an internal speaker or a guest or external, and then details. In this particular page, we have used modern tables that have interactive features like such as sorting, filtering, they are like ascending, descending, and all, and a totally responsive design across the screen. And then after it, once we will click that row, and then will be navigate to the detail view that will contain that option to export that particular PDF in the mail. So that's the detail page where we have this email PDF option and the details of the speakers in, and we can also like update the details as well in this page. As I told you, this particular PDF responsive, which contains all the informations and adjust within the PDF layout. And on that particular button click, it's export to the user with all the details and these functionality which I already told you. And yeah, and not and yeah, custom styling and all. So let me quickly show you the app right away. So earlier, like I have taken the same use case that speaker hub platform, where I just made a new page. That's all speaker page that I told you, that I show you in the last slides, where we can sort them on basis of their names, and we like also if a number type column, then larger to small, and these all are the predefined features, and this is totally responsive. And also in mobile view, we can sort them on the basis of the column types, and we can apply the filters as well. So once and in the last, we have this row count. That's also a pre-default functionality of that modern tables. So here what I did on that row, I just select that particular item, I just navigate to one of the page, that is the detail page, where I just used this you can say the screen header and form screen, where we have this is a header, and then we have put this particular container, that is horizontal container, and there we have that particular button to export that PDF, and below are the details, and we can update the details here. And let me quickly show you the here what will come once it will generate the process the data, and it will send to the respective user. Let me show you the output of that. So this is the mail which user will receive with all the information. Yeah, this is like I have taken the few details only, but we can customize it as per the requirements. And attachment has been attached in this mail body, and as you can observe, this particular styling of that PDF is different than the actual one that we shown in the listing. So yeah, this is custom styling that we can put, and is totally responsive. So let me show you quickly that. So here, this is the a screen which you can leverage, that is header and table. Like this is a modern screen which is you can say fully responsive. You can use your labels and all with parent dot width and parent dot height and as per respective requirements. In this particular screen, we have responsive containers, that is screen container, and that header container, which contains header, where I just customize the title, that is our speaker, and then I uploaded the logo and I replace it. And below it, we have main container, that is this table container, which which I am leveraging modern table, and I am using that list and using these columns of the speaker details. And on that particular container, on the table, on select, I'm just navigating this particular detail speaker page, and where I selected that, let me show you. Yeah, here I have used one container. Let me show you. And I just use this variable, dynamic variable, where I'm just setting is visibility as true or false on basis of that PDF button click on the top. I'm just setting that variable as true, and once PDF generated, I make as false, and I'm using that variable for this visibility of that loader. And then this is a main screen container, and this header similarly in the last screen we have to modify the title and the logo. And then this container that we are using this for this button for exporting the PDF, where I'm putting this button which contain actual code for generating a PDF. So I'm leveraging Office 365 Outlook connector for using send email version 2, and I'm sending email to the logged in user dot email, that is myself, because I'm logged in using this ID, and this is my mail body. You can customize as per your need. And then I use dynamic some values like my table dot selected dot column name, similarly speaker type and all. And below that, most important, attachment function, where we have to give the name of that PDF. That is where I just in my table I have a column speaker name, so I have selected that table dot selected dot speaker name dot PDF, as simple as that. And after that, content bytes. So here we have to mention of your container names, and most important, very important, expand containers. So true, what it will do, it will consider your child structure as well. Like we have you have a one parent and you have sub gallery, so you can say particular container, so that will also exclude that. After that, I am just sending emails, sorry, sending notification with 1 second duration. And here I use that variable for setting. On top, I'm just, this is a loader variable where I'm showing the loader, and also I'm hiding these buttons of that. Let me show you these button. So I'm also setting the visibility using this variable true or false. So once we will click, we will make it true, and once it will generate the PDF and send the email. After it will, we are making them false. As simple as that. And after that, this is our main container. I'm leveraging the same for this particular screen. I leverage this one screen. Let me show you header and form, which also consist responsive containers, this header and that form. Let me show you that form where the data source is my same list, and I just mentioned my fields, And in this submit button, I just submit and reset my form. As simple as that. Thank you. That's it.
Awesome stuff, Shiv. Thank you so much. And great job to see that you're thinking about responsive design and elements like that. You know, that's important to user adoption and making the app work for everybody, because not everybody's always using the exact same device or phone or whatever the case may be. So great to see that you're focusing on that and including that as part of the overall architecture of what you created there. So thank you for sharing with the community. I really, really appreciate, again, your passion and sharing with that with the community on the call. All right, well, we've got Nathalie up next. Nathalie Leenders is going to talk about how to call a Power Automate flow from a Dataverse form. So Nathalie, feel free to take on over the screen share.
I will. Thank you, David. Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And for you as well, Shiv. I think it's 10 p.m. for you, so that's quite late. Let me share my screen.
Yep, it looks great.
All right. Thank you, David. So I'm going to be talking about how to call a Power Automate flow from a Dataverse form in Power Pages using JavaScript the hard way, but that title was way too long, so I figured I'd put it like this. But let's first introduce myself. My name is Nathalie Leenders. I'm a Power Platform consultant. I'm a business applications MVP, and since this year also an MCT. And most people will know me from posting the Badgers GIF here in the community call, and I even got it tattooed. So I'm very passionate about the Badgers GIF. But that's me, and I've listed my website here as well. And let me quickly move over to, there we go, to Power Pages. So I had a client this year that wanted to work with Power Pages. And within Power Pages, I don't know if you guys know, you can create Dataverse forms and you can make the forms in it and you can make sure that they submit data. But there wasn't really anything in there that could get the information from another system or through an API or get additional information such as client information if you're working for a law firm that could import information for you into that form. So I started thinking about, okay, how can I do this? What is the current capability? So I found an article on Microsoft Learn that said that, hey, you can incorporate Power Pages, you can do, or at least you can do Power Automate, and they did an example with the Amazon Weather connector. So there's no premium connector necessary, only Power Pages license. However, this works, it's great, and it only works on a regular page like this. So this is a regular page, and if I insert my location, I hit submit. So I followed all the entire Learn article. I went through the entire thing and I created my flow. And let me show you the flow. Oops, there's a banner in front that you guys don't see. So this is a flow, and it starts with whenever something, let me hit edit. In Power Pages, whenever something gets called, you get the current weather from that Power Page, and then you return the values. It sounds pretty simple, but it's really not. So I came across the JavaScript part of this. Now, I'm a low-code person. I'm not a programmer. I don't come from a pro-code background. And I could follow the Microsoft Learn article that told me to put it in Visual Studio Code, to put it on the page. So this is the page itself. And I copy-pasted the code. It worked. I hit Edit Code. In here, in Visual Studio Code, this is that test page. And I've added, this is the page, and I added the exact code from the Microsoft Learn article. Now, like I said, I don't know JavaScript, so I did copy paste. It worked. I modified certain things, and I made sure that I put the correct URL to the flow in there, and that's fine. It works for this page because you hit submit. Currently quite cold here. It is currently 3 degrees Celsius. It returns the information. It calls the flow. That works. However, the next step was, how do I do this in my form? Because I have a form here and my client wants to get information from another system. So I figured I would test using the Microsoft or the MSN Weather Connector. However, I don't really know how. I don't know Pro Code. I don't know JavaScript. So I turned to Copilot, but not the Copilot that you guys most likely have used. But I used GitHub Copilot, which is actually a more code-based Copilot version. And I just told Copilot, like, hey, copy paste the JavaScript code. How do I adapt this to a Dataverse table? Because nobody had put up something on the internet yet. Nobody did any videos, and I didn't really know how to go about doing this. And of course, it gave me output. I could work with it, but I didn't understand what I was looking at because I didn't know any JavaScript. So I reached out to a colleague of mine, and that colleague knows JavaScript. And I told him, like, hey, I am trying to run with JavaScript, pun intended, and it's not working for me. Can you help me? So he helped me in modifying the code so that it actually worked. And it's not perfect because it currently calls the flow on every single keystroke that I do. So keep in mind, it's not perfect. It is open to any developer or any person out there that wants to change it. But if I type a location in Breda, which is near me, you will see it will start to ping a few times. Now, this is unfortunately expected because it pulls on every single keystroke, and it's not 33 degrees right now in Breda. So on every single keystroke, it triggers. Now, it does work if I copy paste the entire thing there, because it will prompt on just that word. It is currently 3 degrees in Breda, which is very, very near to where I live. So the entire code for that, what it does is it calls the Power Automate flow using this URL, because in Power Pages, you have to go to setup, you go to setup, go to Cloud Flows, you have to add your flow here, and then use this trigger URL in your code, and then copy paste that here, and it gets the field location, which is the field that I specified, and I will show you how you can actually get that field. So if I go to my form and I hit inspect and I select my element, in here it will show me my field is called crc69 location text.form. So that's the one that I used in my Visual Studio Code to make sure that this field is where it gets its value from. That gets sent to the Power Automate flow, and then it does a whole bunch of other things. It also is needed that you put this piece of code in there. It's a CFS token. I had no clue what it was. It is needed for the authentication. And this token basically just tells Power Page to your Power Automate flow, like, hey, you are authorized to pull this in. The page in Power Pages doesn't necessarily have this in the code, so that's the reason why I missed it in first place. But you do need to have this. And by the way, I have this complete code for you guys to copy paste on my website, and I think that David put it in the chat as well. So it calls the flow, it gets authenticated, it passes through the value from that field. And what it then does is I had to figure out, like, okay, where do I put the information that it pulls it from? So where do I put the actual stuff? So we figured out that in your form, this field is a description field, and we are able to replace this field with the values from Power Automate. So in our code, we said the description field needs to have, the inner text of that description field needs to have the temperature result from my Power Automate flow. And then, of course, there's a little bit of error handling in there. And like I said, it is by no means perfect, but it is possible now to get the information from the MSN Weather Connector using my Power Automate flow. But this could also be used if you create a custom connector for a client or for somebody else or even for yourself. You're able to call APIs through the custom connector in Power Automate, because in my Power Automate flow, what I currently have is the MSN Weather Connector, but you can, of course, do anything else that you want in here, Just make sure that you have the Power Pages trigger and you end with the return values to Power Page step. And then you're able to pull that through JavaScript into your form. And I also started thinking about how can I adapt this to a Dataverse form in a model-driven app, because technically speaking, it is a Dataverse form or same type of form. And that is something I haven't worked on yet, but I would imagine that you need to have different types of triggers, like HTTP triggers in your Power Automate flow. But I did want to put that idea out there that somebody might be able to work on that. So all of these steps eventually resulted in me getting the information into a Power Page, and that is without any experience in JavaScript or knowing how to do this. So everything, like I said, I put on my blog, and including all of the code, you are welcome to copy paste everything. And I hope that you guys enjoyed.
Awesome stuff, Nathalie. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming on to share that information with us. So we want to thank all of our presenters, Jean-Paul. This was Jean-Paul's, by the way, first demo on the community call, everybody. So I think he deserves an extra round of applause. Shiv, thanks for sharing and thinking critically about those things like responsive design. And Nathalie, by the way, I did want to mention, I really love that you mentioned that you're not a developer, but you're expanding your comfort zone, right? And I hate to say stepping outside your comfort zone because that sounds scary. But if we can expand our comfort zone, then all of a sudden new things can become comfortable to us and we can do more within that space, and we've got an expanded landscape to innovate and collaborate and do really cool things. So thank you all three. Shane, how about some crisps of gratitude from you, my friend? I think you've always got something nice to say.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me something during this segment. No, I don't get like Christmas presents or anything.
I always have a gift for you. Big, wide open arms and a hug. I thought, is that not good? No?
I like your hugs. I appreciate that. But no, yeah, so great job, presenters, right? And this is just another great reminder for everyone to present. You know, Jean-Paul jumped in there and, brought us, unpacking code in Python. I mean, goodness gracious, right? Like, that's cool though, right? Because that, once again, like David was just saying, it stretches our boundaries. It makes us think about, hey, it's more than just, getting in there and clicky, even though I like clicky, right? Like, there's a lot more that we can do if we start to think about how to pull in other tools. Shiv drove the conversation in the chat around PDFs. Like, everyone was super interested in all the different ways that you can make PDFs. When he started his demo, like I couldn't wait to find out, like, hey, which one of the 12 ways he could have done this did he do it? It's always just good to see other people's code and how they're driving those things. And Shiv also did a great job with making everything responsive, which I'll be honest, I'm terrible at doing off the top of my head. So I'm glad to see that reminder there. And then my dear friend, Nathalie, right? What else can I say there? But, I'm with you, right? She jumped into Power Pages and she said, hey, I'm going to get some help and I'm going to figure out how to do this because, Nathalie, I'm also not a pro dev, right? So every time that I have to write something, in that JavaScript, or I did Excel scripts last week, right? There's tools out there to learn and you just got to be not afraid of it. So kudos.
Thank you, Shane. Yeah, it's scary, but if I can do it, you guys can do it.
Yeah, the thing I always try to remind people is all that stuff, it's just text at the end of the day, right? Like, like when you look at APIs are super scary, but they're really just a bunch of words. They're just text with curly brackets and colons and stuff. Like, don't overthink it. Just be brave like Nathalie and jump in there and do it. So thank you to all of our presenters. And once again, just a reminder, if they can do it, all of you can do it as well. We want you guys to come and join us and teach us cool things, show us different ways to do stuff. That's how we all learn.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Nathalie. And again, also, we have tools, as Shane mentioned. So utilize those like Copilot, and GitHub Copilot is great. But also, we've got a vast, wide open community. We've got samples. Reach out to friends. Reach out to people. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I'd love to learn more about how you built that, Mr. or Mrs. Demo Presenter, right? I guarantee you, each and every single person that presents on this call is open to collaborate and wants to work and learn more. So don't be afraid to say hi and tell them you liked it. They will appreciate it, and it goes a long way. Okay, now, what are some resources that are available for you? We've got our community landing spots and videos. Samples are available. Lots of opportunity, as I mentioned, to collaborate within the community. And because you are on this call, you likely like community calls. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But we've got our Microsoft 365 and Power Platform weekly call with Microsoft speakers. That is coming directly from the horse's mouth. So don't miss those. They are weekly. They will be going on a little bit of a vacation during the winter break, but all of the rest of the calls, our Power Platform, are not. And our sibling bi-weekly calls, the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community, as well as the Viva Connections and SharePoint Framework, those are every Thursday. They swap one another, so every other Thursday you're getting a different topic, and they are every Thursday. It doesn't matter if there's a holiday in one country or another, or whatever the case may be, we will have a call ready for you. So download the invites from ak.ms/community/calls, and we also have our meetup. If you want to see what the agenda is, you can see and preview that. It's published in Meetup, so ak.ms/community/meetup. As a preview of next week's Power Platform weekly call with presenters from Microsoft, John Miller is going to talk about Introduction to Microsoft Teams Toolkit for VS Code. We're going to see some implementing single sign-on Viva Connections bot-powered ACEs with Paolo as he's working with Vesa on that. And Eric will be covering building a writing coach declarative agent for Microsoft 365 Copilot. So a lot of these things overlap with Power Platform, and you might want to get a preview of how they're working. So we invite you to join those calls. And if you love communicating, collaborating with the community, that is an opportunity you can find in our Discord. So you can be with the cool kids, let your kids know you're on Discord. They're going to be like, wow, mom and dad's awesome. And you can collaborate on a variety of topics all in one place. We'd love to hear some feedback from you on the calls. Lets us know that things are going well, and or if there's areas that you would like to see improvement on, don't hesitate to let us know, and we would love to hear from you. Other than that, the recording will be available in 24 hours on the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. Subscribe now at aka.ms/community/YouTube. You can follow us on X or Twitter, as it's called nowadays. And of course, we're going to be coming up with a new Blue Sky account, so be on the lookout for that. We are already on LinkedIn. The next call is December 18th. 2024, a little under a month away, I guess, technically. Today's 20th. You can get access at aka.ms/Power Platform Community Call. Thank you, everybody, for the amazing job you did. Our presenters, thank you for everybody leaning in, and don't give up that passion. Shane, any final words?
Bring me nice Christmas presents? No, I guess I can't. No, thank you all. I love it. I love the community. I love to see everyone participating. So kudos, and go play with AI.
Woo! Absolutely. Woo! Excellent. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your week and enjoy Ignite.